In the name of Allah, most beneficial and merciful. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. Thank you very much, Dr. Nazila and your team, for giving me this opportunity. Indeed, it's a very important, sensitive topic that has been very well covered by Dr. Kathy. A big round of applause for her for covering this not very easy topic so easily. The ease was something that I really loved. Thank you very much for that. While sitting there, I thought that what I'll be talking about. So one thing that came in my mind was, let me share my experience with you, because that will cover the cultural aspect or the things that I want to highlight a little bit to conclude this session. I know a psychologist, a mental health professional, whose aunt was a known case of bipolar disorder. She came to me to ask this, that, Madam, I want to seek help for my aunt, but I'm not very sure who to see and where to go, because there are very few places, and there are the places that I know are good. I have been interned there, and those people know me. So I'm not sure whether I should go there and seek help from my aunt or not. After a discussion, she was convinced that she'll have to seek help for her at any one of the places where she can confide in and feels more comfortable. There was a place selected. But then she wanted to only go for a traditional method of treatment. Medicines be prescribed, don't seek help from the daycare system they have, which could be more beneficial for the aunt there. She said, Ma'am, it's good that I go for 1 or 2 doctors who know the case, and because those are seniors, so I trust them more rather than going for someone, rather than letting the whole community there to know this. I could relate to it because I belong to the same society where no matter what we say, stigma is still there. And it's not very easy for us to decide to seek help for these type of issues that we go. Plus, we talk about it. Yes, these are very effective methods. Times have changed, I accept that. I know people sitting here, we are more aware, but what percentage of the society we are representing? It's an important question. So a person who's a mental health professional said that, what I'll do is, I'll pray for my aunt and let's only go for medication and give it a try. Fine, any help would be helpful in that situation, and I supported and encouraged the person. After 2 days, she came and said, Ma'am, yes, my faith is very important. Duas and prayers that I'm making I think it's very effective, because dawa ke saath dua shifa ka bais banti hai. But I was reading a book, and there I read about a very important leader in the history of Islam who kept on telling to his people, question me, saluni, saluni. And that triggered a question in my mind. Why he isn't saying munajat, munajat, dua karo, dua karo? Why isn't only saying that? Why he's asking his people to question? And that helped me reach to the point where I understood that the religion system I'm following, a belief system I'm following, asks me not only to pray, but to have this curiosity and exploration. And then I questioned myself there, that what's stopping me from seeking the best help available in the town, where I can actually access this facility, being a mental health professional, for my aunt. So what is the barrier here? And the answer to my question was fear that I have of people and fear of myself. And I decided in my heart that I'll come and talk to you to help myself get out of this fear, and will seek your help for taking the best help, so that I could set an example for my peers and my colleagues that it's us who needs to take the first step, and to set example for others to move forward. Something that we can't do ourselves, how can we ask others to do? So I just wanted to do that. That's why I'm here. And I just want to ask you, have you read about this leader? And I said, yes, I know this leader very well, who talks about question me. And I think that has helped you and given you a ray of hope. Let's take this forward. Her aunt got an opportunity to avail service from a daycare center. And after a few days, I met that person again. And I asked her, what difference you see in her? With a smile earlier, when she was seeking help from a traditional support system that we have, she was breathing. But after taking help from the modern thing with a combination of different things that were offered to her by a multidisciplinary team, her quality of life has improved to an extent that I see her living now, which is a big achievement for me, and thank you for that. So that's what this CBT and the system is doing. We can't promise for a radical change in anybody's life because that's not practical. The practical stuff here is that if people start only breathing and not enjoying life to the potential that they have, the contribution we can make is working as a multidisciplinary team so that we can take this forward. Yes, the challenge is stigma. Yes, the challenge is, for us, the challenge is not, the bigger challenge is not this, that we are not trained in that. We keep on complaining about the training, certifications. Yes, that's a challenge. But people like us are ready to go for that. The biggest challenge is convincing people, educating them so that they can avail this service which is available there. So the CBT stuff is very much important in creating that awareness, maybe through media, I don't know what, but advocacy is something that we mental health professionals need to work together to take this service, which is happening internationally as well. The best thing that I learned in the program where I was being trained was taking this service in community, and that's what Recovery House is trying to do. A big congratulations for Recovery House for organizing this, because that's how they're setting an example that how a multidisciplinary team should work. When Dr. Katie asked this question, it was so heartening to see, yes, nurses, psychiatrists, psychologists, occupational therapists, all sitting under one roof and talking about it. So this conference is already a success, whether we take things forward or not, but we sitting together, listening to each other is something very important. Another good news, two things that I would like to talk about and then conclude my talk. Now the good news for us is, yes, we know CBT now a little bit. Why? Because there are certain training programs. I, as an academician, could claim, yes, our university, many other universities, many other institutions are offering training programs in that. Yesterday I was manual with a CD being free distributed among the population sitting there, which was a self-help manual. So that's a good news. Yes, we are doing good work. But there is always an area for growth after that. Whenever we talk about the good stuff, we should not ignore the area of growth. And the area of growth for us, in my perception. Now, there are many seniors sitting here, they may have their own view. But what I saw there was, we are still working in pockets. Whether we like or dislike, we're still working in pockets. That means I is still predominant. And if we want to change this illness into wellness, this I needs to be changed now with we. And yes, this is the first step. And there are many other steps that have been taken by different other organizations. I want to acknowledge that. So big congratulations to all of you sitting here for making everything like this possible. One more thing, and I'll just thank you very much. I'll say thank you very much for your attention. We've been reading in books and since our childhood, from school, colleges, university, verses are my favorite, and we've been reading that. And that important verse that always I remembered explained the objective of our creation, why human being has been created. And that always touched my heart, and I just want to end today's talk with that prayer, कि दर्दे दिल के वास्ते पैदा किया इंसान को. Human being has been created for care for other human being. So always remember कि जब तक ये दर्दे दिल बाकी है ना, तब तक शम्मा से शम्मा जलती रहेगी. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Zainab. And we are open for the questions. Okay. If we will not ask, we will really not know. You want to ask one question?
Thank you so much. I really don't know if it's a question that needs to be asked in this particular session, but since it's burning, so I'm putting off. I really want to know that the CBT and CBT for psychosis, these were some of the strategies that were being put by you I just want to know that if medications, if a person with mental illness is given medication and together with that CBT is also going on, but still there's no improvement or perhaps there is minimal improvement, then what do you think that person has to go? That person is demolished because he's continuously taking medications, continuously going for all the sessions of CBT, but still the improvement that he desires for is not achieving. So in that case, what would be the solution?
Well, I would say that if it's not working, that you need to look at what you're doing, because obviously it's not the right thing. And that, often the first thing that you try isn't going to be the perfect solution. And sometimes there's not a perfect solution. But the important thing is that you communicate to the person, I'm going to stay with you until we figure out what's going to work, and we're going to keep trying things until we find one that works for you. And maybe just like step back and take a slightly smaller step. You want to make sure that when you're setting up things for people to do, that they're able to be successful. They really need that success. So maybe just sort of scale down your expectations so that this person can start to feel like they're able to accomplish it.
Why don't people seek help fast enough? That's the question. Yes, and it has something to do with stigma, but not necessarily. That's not all. That's what I want you to know. And somehow people think that, it's because of stigma. Yes, stigma is very much involved. So I want to share the experience of the recovery house. That people come to us when things are really bad. When somebody has committed suicide, when somebody is breaking things, fighting with the neighbors, or have run away. Now, did they know that this person is mentally ill? Yes. How do we know that they know this? Because they had been to 20 psychiatrists. They have had admissions in hospitals. It's not a question of ignorance. It's not a question of stigma. They've known it for 20 years. So then, how come they came to us after everything is over? Literally. So one of the things is that there isn't an awareness that there is such a thing as rehabilitation. There is a lot of awareness that you can go to a psychiatrist. There's a lot of awareness that you can go to a hospital. But we've been around only 7 or 8 years, and these people who come to us have had a mental illness for 25 years, well before recovery house. So they've tried whatever was available. So the issue is, all of you have a responsibility now that you've learned what rehabilitation is, tell the people, right? Because let them not wait, and then the largest number of inquiries we are getting is through the web. We are not getting the largest numbers of inquiries through the psychiatric community. So, for whatever reason, I don't know. So it takes time to build awareness that there is such a thing as rehabilitation and that it will help. And so everybody who has come to us, we have been able to give them rehabilitation in spite of the fact that they came to us late. Good question, therefore, but now I'm just encouraging, it's not their fault. They don't know. There is the recovery house and what it is doing and what it can do. So one of the messages we want to send today is that I hope we convert you to the fact that there is rehabilitation, right? There's rehabilitation, and you will help society and you will help your friends and families and so on by saying, go there as early as you can. And I'll tell you something, we have people who are admitted now who are in their 20s, who are in their 30s. They've not had this illness that long. Those are the people that we can really help because they have approached us early enough. Very important. But it's not all under our control, and society can help, and today you are that society. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, thank you, Dr. Catherine, Dr. Zainab, and Khosrow Saab, and I will request you to please go for a tea, but I would request to come back within 10 minutes. 10 minutes means that you will be here in 15 minutes because we will be heading for our last session then. Please do come back in 10 minutes. Thank you.